Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussizz Group. We are back with our PTE live session series. I'm Malcolm and along with me I have Gaurang.
Hello,
How are you, Gaurang?
I'm fine. How are you, Malcolm?
I'm fine. Thank you for joining us today for our live session. We are really happy to have you over here.
It's always a pleasure. Whenever Thursday comes, the first thing I think is it's time to go live.
Fantastic, Gaurang. So, Gaurang, the live session for today is of the speaking module, the first task of the speaking module, which is called
Read aloud.
Read aloud, yes.
If you look at read aloud, it's a really simple task. Just one passage given to you and you have to read it into the microphone. But it could set the tone for your entire test.
Very true. So basically, I believe we have 6 to 7 questions of read aloud when the test starts.
Yes.
So just for viewers, I'd like to share the instruction which you get when the test starts. So you'll have a passage on your screen. As soon as you get the passage, a reverse timer of roughly 35 seconds starts. At the end of the timer, at 3, 2, 1, 0, you'll hear a beep.
Yes.
And after you hear the beep, again, the actual recording timer starts, but is again of roughly 35 to 40 seconds, depending on the length of the passage.
Absolutely.
In which you need to read out the passage in the mic or the headset which you're using.
Exactly. Now, it is important to note here that depending on the length of the passage, you will have 35 to 40 seconds.
Correct.
It can be either 35 or 40 seconds,
Right.
in which you have to first mentally read the passage given to you. And then after the beep, you have to speak into the microphone for the same period of time and record your passage, record your voice reading the passage.
So does that mean that before the beep, even if I say something, it's not going to be recorded?
No, it's not going to be recorded because the microphone will be off.
Obviously. So as Gaurang correctly said, whatever you say, whatever you practice or rehearse before the beep, anyway is not going to be recorded, which means that you can actually rehearse before the beep as well.
This is actually advisable. So you should, what you can do is, not in a very loud voice, but at least in something that you can hear, read through the passage quickly.
Correct. And although it is in speaking, but does it affect any other module?
Of course, the name itself says read aloud.
Read aloud.
So it also gives you marks for reading.
Yes, so I believe it's a rather heavy task, the reading score as well.
Yes, I would say somewhere equally balanced, so it's equally reading and equally speaking.
So basically, if you mess up in read aloud, you're not only decreasing your speaking score, you're also decreasing your reading score because it's read aloud.
That's true.
Right.
Another important thing to note is that soon as you hear the beep sound in your microphone, you should start speaking, because in the speaking section, if you do not speak for 3 seconds or more, the recording goes off, the microphone is closed.
Right.
And your answer will be considered as completed.
Right.
A lot of people have come across this because when they are giving the test the first time, or because they are not aware that the first question is going to start this way, they wait even after the beep and occasionally they miss out on the first question entirely.
So basically, don't take lengthy pauses while you are speaking after the beep. Just keep on speaking fluently.
Correct. Another thing to note is that there might be words which the test taker is not aware of.
Right. Tricky words,
difficult words, or just words that they have never ever come across.
Correct.
Right? They might not know the pronunciation.
Right.
Or if there are some words that have been taken from one of the European languages and are now part of the English language. Yes. So they might not know how to speak those words.
Correct.
When they are doing the initial reading, that is the time they should identify these words. And if they are fast enough, maybe they can just note them down on the pad that they have and try and break them down into a proper pronunciation. They might get it wrong occasionally, but most of the time I believe they should be able to get it right.
Right. So Gaurang, I think now we should go to what are the common mistakes which people make in the test. I think we should let the viewers be aware of the common mistakes which most of the people make in the test in read aloud.
In read aloud, possibly the biggest mistake that I have come across is people will fumble over some words and then they'll go back and correct themselves.
Right.
What that effectively does is it increases the number of words that they are speaking.
Correct.
Also, because they are repeating the words, they are making the same mistake twice.
Correct.
Right. So that is the biggest thing. Other than this, I have also occasionally come across students, if they fumble over a word, they'll say, oh, sorry. And then they will start again. Students, you need to remember you are going to be talking to a computer. The computer does not care whether you are sorry or not. It's not a human.
Right.
Never ever say sorry. Just continue reading the entire passage from start to finish.
So, Gaurang, as you correctly said, I think it's very important to understand that even if you make a mistake, never correct yourself. Just keep on speaking, because the task is read aloud. First thing is, you're not supposed to fumble, and even if you do, don't correct yourself idly. Just keep on speaking, because when you're correcting yourself, obviously you're toying around with your fluency. Even the fluency might be affected.
Yes.
So basically, just keep on speaking, as
Yes.
you correctly said. And again, I think as you correctly said, if at all there are difficult words, tricky words, then people can divide those words into parts and rehearse before the beep. But once they hear the beep, they need to say it in a single attempt.
Correct. Also important to remember is that if there are full stops or commas, the right kind of pauses should be taken. So when you are coming to a full stop, the last word should be pronounced and spoken to sound as if you're stopping there.
Right.
Right?
So it means that we are talking about intonation and pronunciation.
Yes. The intonation and pronunciation should be clear. And then when there is a comma, it should feel as if you are coming to a pause and then continuously starting.
Correct.
Okay? So
Correct.
it should not be a pause that is extended or way too long, be it for a comma or for a full stop.
Well said, Gaurang. Now let's say that a person is quick enough in speaking. So let's say instead of 35 40 seconds, he or she is able to finish it in 15 or 20 seconds.
Right.
So now, should he wait for the timer to reach the end, or should he click on next immediately?
Soon as you finish speaking the last word, click next.
Click next, right?
Because if you leave it open, remember this, there will be other people around you who will be giving the test. Their voices might get recorded into your microphone. Also, because the microphone waits for 3 seconds before it will turn itself off to note that you are not speaking.
Right.
Those voices getting recorded will reduce your marks. So as soon as you are done speaking, click next.
Right. So basically, don't wait for the timer to reach its end position. Click on next immediately as soon as you speak the last word from your mouth and read aloud.
Correct.
Definitely.
And people also need to remember this. You are given up to 35 or 40 seconds to speak. That does not mean you have to speak for the full 35 or 40 seconds.
Correct.
You have to speak only for the period that the passage takes for you to read.
Finish it. Correct.
Sometimes I have been asked this question. Sir, I finished it in 15 seconds. So I thought I should repeat myself so that any mistakes I made can be recovered. That should not be done.
Definitely not.
Okay, do not repeat the entire passage a second time. That will actually give you less marks, not more marks.
Correct. And after you click next, we are also getting one more icon on the screen, like a confirmation question, like are you... Yes.
So recommendation, if you can manage it, not necessary, but if you can manage it, then when you've got a couple of words left, click next, finish those words and click OK.
All right.
Soon as you click OK, the mic stops.
Correct. So basically, you just need to be quick when hopping from one question to the next.
Yes.
Agreed. And as you said about pronunciation, definitely, but anything specifically about pronunciation which can help the students?
See, the best way to pronunciate is, of course, for longer words to be broken down into words of 3 alphabets each.
Right.
Okay. So for example, if we have a word that says something like consumption,
correct,
the student is not sure how to speak.
Correct.
So then the student should go CON,
right,
SUMPTION.
Correct.
Right. So that will give consumption.
Right. The correct pronunciation.
Exactly. And occasionally, even if you get the pronunciation wrong, don't worry too much about it.
Right.
Don't go back to correct yourself. Just move on.
Just keep on speaking.
Exactly.
So basically, no point getting too conscious, because if you're very conscious, you'll be nervous, and then obviously your performance will be affected. Definitely.
Also, to be kept in mind is that don't mumble.
Yes.
Whatever you speak it with full confidence in a loud enough voice for the microphone to pick it up, not too loud for it to disturb others around you.
Correct.
Okay. And of course, do not, as I said, do not mumble. So one line you read loudly, then the other words you do not know, so you go
Yes.
then again go loud.
So
Don't do that.
No point being over smart with the system.
Yes, don't try to cheat the system.
Right.
Don't try to play with the system.
Right.
The system is, of course, a computer, but somewhere it can be smarter than us.
Correct.
Okay. So just go normal.
Right. So now, Gaurang, let's go to the sentence which we posted last week. It was not very short, it was not very lengthy, roughly 50 to 70 words as it generally is.
Yes.
So Gaurang, if I can request you that if you could just read out this sentence as if you would do in a real test.
Okay, now in the real test, because this is a slightly longer sentence, I would have 40 seconds to read this. So I'm first going to go through this passage in my mind for 40 seconds before I start speaking. Okay. People bargain to US companies.
Perfect. So friends, as you've seen, he was very fluent and he had I would say perfect, not even almost, he had perfect pronunciation as well. So now you know how you need to read aloud in an actual exam.
Now there are a couple of points that I would like to make over here. If the viewers might have noted, I stumbled in one place. Laws proposed a simple bargain. I stumbled over there, right? And there were 3 words that were in brackets, and I read them as if they are present over there. Right? Do not actually miss those words. A lot of students are not sure if they have been given an abbreviation, an acronym, and then there is a full form of it. They do not read the full form, or they do not read the acronym. Don't do that. Everything that we do has to be perfectly as per the lines provided, the words provided. Do not skip a single word.
Agree.
Okay. If I were to explain this in a slightly longer or better way, a deeper way, then think of this as a karaoke. Right? When you go to a karaoke center and you are singing, any words that you miss on the screen where the words are coming, those will not get highlighted. And then at the end, they will show you that you have achieved 98% accuracy, 95% accuracy. Something similar over here. What you should be looking to do is, if you have got 50 words, you have to read the full 50 words.
At a single stretch.
At a single stretch. Right? If you read the full 50 words, chances are you will score more than 90%.
Correct. Very true.
And if you score more than 90%, that's bound to give you 79 plus score.
Very true. And you need that score to push your score even in the reading module, because there's speaking and reading at the same time. It just requires a bit of practice in the correct manner, which is very important.
Also, a lot of people slow down when they are reading this because they believe that they need to read for 35 seconds. Do not slow down. Speak at your normal speed.
Please. That's true.
Just like we have been talking, that is how they should be going about this.
Very true. Very true.
And remember, this is the very first task you'll be facing. Do not allow it to overcrowd your mind. Do not get burdened if you make a mistake. Just shrug it off. Forget that you made a mistake and move on.
What is done is done. You just focus on what's left in the test and try your best, because PTE will give you enough chances to push your score best.
Absolutely. Just making 1 or 2 mistakes in 1 or 2 passages is not going to result in you scoring less than what you desire. If you do exceptionally well in the other tasks, you can still cover up.
Right, Gaurang, I think we have covered everything in detail in this task of read aloud.
Malcolm, one question though. How can they go about practicing?
Read aloud is a task of reading and speaking at the same time, ideally. So basically, reading is, how do you improve reading? You read as much as possible. So it's very common that, like, you read newspapers, read news, whatever you get your hands on, but also try to practice spontaneously. Like every day, if you're not good at reading, I would suggest, like, take any book, take any newspaper, take any material get, like sit in front of a mirror and just read aloud as if you're a news reader. You know, like listening to yourself. So that will help you in 2 ways. First, obviously, it helps you in practicing. And secondly, it also gives you the confidence. Like, it's very simple. Until and unless you're not happy with your own performance, with your own voice, the computer.
That's correct. He said, sir, does it mean we need to read our fluency should be like the flow of water? I said, that's spot on. You should flow like unobstructed water.
Correct, very true.
From the start to the end. If you're able to do that, you'll get top marks.
Fantastic, Gaurang. I think we have covered almost everything there is in read aloud. And people, if you're following us, then hopefully you get a very high score in read aloud as well.
Yes, we hope so. And because it's speaking that we are starting with, let us also discuss some of the changes that are coming in speaking that we have been noting.
Yes, the thing is that from a couple of few days or few weeks or a few days, we've been seeing that the number of questions are changing here and there. For example, it is possible that you get fewer questions, let's say in describe image, and could be possible that you get some more questions in retail lecture. So what we are trying to say over here is that basically it's no point expecting what we'll get.
Yes.
It is as good as, it's very unpredictable. So just go with a very open mind and just take it as one question at a time. It's like a game, like one question you solve, next. That's
right. And if I remember it correctly, we get somewhere around 35 questions in speaking, so 35 tasks.
Yes.
Or has that also increased?
Yes, so generally, yes, it has increased. So 35 to 42 questions.
Oh,
so basically, that's what we are saying. No point expecting anything. 35 to 42 questions. And according to PTE guidelines, PTE expects you to finish in roughly 30 to 35 minutes.
Oh, so be prepared to answer each question in roughly 1 minute.
Yes, that's how it is.
Okay, that sounds challenging and interesting as well.
So basically, it just requires consistent practice with the right mindset. If you do that, you get your score. Simple.
Okay, great. Now, Malcolm, what are we taking up for the next week?
Next week, we will be taking up one of the tasks from the reading module. And I believe that task will be multiple choice, choose multiple answers question from the reading module, which again can be very lengthy in the actual test and again requires a certain mindset to solve those questions. Otherwise, they are very time consuming questions and can waste a lot of time in the reading module.
And I believe it also carries a lot of weightage for the reading module.
It does carry weightage because the scoring is 1 point per correct response. But on the other hand, it also has a partial negative scoring with which many people have a misunderstanding very often.
Okay.
So all that we'll be covering in the next task, which is of the reading module, that is called multiple choice, choose multiple answers. So we will be posting the question for that task tomorrow. And next Thursday, we'll be covering the techniques in detail, that how should you approach a question of multiple choice, choose multiple answers.
Okay, so we can look forward to some good responses from our viewers and our Facebook followers tomorrow.
Definitely, you're more than welcome to comment in the answer section or in the comment section. And for the correct answers, we will be providing one free test from pttutorials.com, which is our flagship product. It's an excellent product, your one-stop solution for all your PTE requirements. There are very interactive online tests, and after the test, you can also opt for a scored evaluation report, which is an add-on product which we are providing. Also, it has a lot of material, free material as well as paid material for essays, how you write an essay, with the sample essays, with the scoring explained thoroughly. And also we have excellent material for describe image task as well, how you should go about describing the image in the allotted time slot.
That's fantastic. So people, head to www.ptetutorials.com and the sign up is free.
Definitely. You get one test free on sign up, as I believe.
That's great. No, I think that was earlier. Now it's not available because we had a few issues, technical issues with the free test. That is why we have had to remove that.
I'm sorry, viewers, I take back my words, but nonetheless, it's an excellent site. We have a lot of free material. We have free video tutorials on pttutorials.com, and there's a lot of free content. So please have a look. It will definitely be of help to you in the real test as well.
Okay, Malcolm, are the masterclasses still on?
Yes, definitely, Gaurang. Good you asked me. So friends, I'll also like to share that just today we have posted one score of one of our students. His name is Vishwesh. So he attended 1 week's class over here with Aussizz Group, and he just got a score, I think yesterday or 2 days back. He has scored a perfect 90. It was his first attempt. He has got scores of 90, 90, 90 and 86 in reading, and overall 90. First attempt 90. So that's a fantastic score. And believe Gaurang, even one of your students last week, even he scored a perfect 90.
Yes. Hari, my student, he came to me because he had taken the PTE, but that was in 2009.
Long time.
Long time back. That was when PTE was just introduced. He had no idea how it has changed.
All right.
He joined us a while back, but then he had such a severe throat infection, he could not speak for 1.5 months.
Oh my God.
And then he had just about 5-6 days left before his test. He came into me, he was all bewildered, kind of, So I don't know how the structure is. I spent 4 days with him, giving him all the inputs, checked out the structure, went out and did the test. His confidence right now is sky high.
Definitely, after getting 90, anyone is believed to have sky high confidence.
He got the same thing, 90, 90, 90, 86.
Fantastic. So friends, even this Saturday, we are having the masterclass here at our CBD premises. Saturday, the 23rd of September. The charges for this masterclass are just $79. And the class will start at 11 a.m. in the morning and will go on till almost 5 p.m. in the evening. So all of those who are attending the masterclass, I request you to be here by 10:45 so we can start at 11 a.m. sharp. I will be covering all the 20 tasks of PTE with the techniques and the strategies. Nothing will be left out. So if you're having your test in the coming few days or in the coming few weeks, I strongly suggest that you attend our masterclass, which is this Saturday at the Melbourne CBD office, 23rd of September, 11 to 5.
Do not forget, people, it's Saturday, 11 to 5.
Definitely. I think that'll be all go around for today. So friends, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Thursday, but do follow our Facebook page, and tomorrow we'll be posting the question on the reading module, multiple choice, choose multiple answers.
And we look forward to your answers to that.
Definitely, please comment. Thank you so much for coming here, Gaurang. It was a pleasure as always.
Thank you, Malcolm, for having me. I look forward to the next session.
Thank you. Thank you for viewing the video, friends. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.